Like a phallus in a shell?
Yes.
They're nasty. Hey, Maniacs.
Hey, Maniacs. Welcome to Mystery Maniacs.
You were a little Wolfman Jack there for a second.
I was a little Wolfman.
Hey, Maniacs.
Only our listeners would know who Wolfman
Anybody
Jack
under
was.
30 is Googling Wolfman Jack
Oh my
right now.
God.
Anyhow, welcome to Mystery Maniacs.
Mystery Maniacs is a comedy recap podcast dedicated to mystery TV. Each week we dig into an episode of the show, including the murders, the mayhem, the loonies, and everything else we love.
This week, Brokenwood, Season 6, Episode 3. Dead Man Don't Shoot Ducks.
I'm Mark.
Babies. I'm Sarah. I'm not Wolfman Jack. I'm sure all of you old enough to recognize that voice were probably fooled. Wow.
Oh.
How did they bring Wolfman Jack back from the dead and put him on the radio?
How
put him on
did
the
that
podcast?
happen?
It's amazing. It's a miracle.
I was completely enamored with him as a child.
It was just me.
He was a DJ who was like a celebrity.
I know.
I was like,
it was him and
oh,
Casey Kasem.
My gosh, I want to be that person.
We are immediately off topic.
Yes.
Dead men don't shoot ducks.
This is a spoiler podcast, so if you haven't watched the episode, go watch the episode and then listen to us. And if you let your kids go to duck blinds and shoot at protesters.
That one dude does.
I guess, sorta.
Tony Carrot.
I did like how they portrayed him as both knowledgeable about what he was doing and a good parent.
Okay, but his shop is called Blood Sports
Yes.
with a Z. Blood Sports.
We haven't had an episode in a while, so let's talk about what we've been doing. Other
So
than
much.
being sick. Oh my gosh.
We finished Ludwig.
Yes.
Which everybody should watch. If you haven't watched it, check it out. We've watched.
They're already working on season 2. The ending of season 1 was
It
fantastic.
was very good. I was kind of watching those episodes in fear of what the end of the season was going to
Yeah.
be. I wasn't sure how they were going to tie it up, but what they did was really good.
The last episode was
And not at all what I expected them to do.
extremely well written. We've been watching The Cleaner. We watched the first 2 episodes.
Because I love Greg Davis.
Oh my God.
That giant
Steve
funny man
Pemberton
is hilarious.
So good in episode 2.
Chelsea Detective, those new episodes have been really, really good.
Yes, including Mrs. Hall being sultry.
A normal modern person is
Yes,
it's kind of weird
it's
to see
kinda weird.
the housekeeper from All Creatures Great and Small in normal clothes.
Yes.
We've also been watching the new episodes of Brokenwood season 11.
Yes, they released on Acorn the first episode last Monday, and the next episode will be releasing on April 28th, when the day that this podcast drops.
And because there are new episodes of a show that we're talking about, we're doing what we've always done, which is releasing mini spoiler-free episodes that you can listen to before you watch to get tips about how to watch it like a maniac.
And that was mini episode number 28. I can't believe we have 28
I know.
mini episodes.
I know.
And
So
that
if
was
you're-
called 2x2 and Bad Tattoos.
So if you're kind of new to the podcast, if you weren't around with us in Midsummer when new Midsummers were coming out, we do these mini episodes because we think it's fun to. We don't spoil the episode. We really don't even talk about the plot. We just give you some things to look for, some little like puzzles or
indications of how we watch
questions
the show.
to try to answer.
Yeah.
So that when you watch it, you can look for those things, which makes it a little bit more fun to watch. And then we're on season 6 of Brokenwood now, but when we get to season 11, we will then do a full normal episode.
And we answer all the
and
questions.
answer the questions. So you might be waiting a while, but
We wrote down the answers.
we did. One time I didn't write down the answers, and by the time we got around like 7 seasons later, I was like, I gotta watch this again. I don't remember.
Watch the episode again
Yeah.
and watch the mini again.
Yeah, to remember the questions. But yeah, the first one came out last week. So if you didn't check it out and go watch the episode.
And there's 6 episodes in this new season.
Yeah. If season 11 isn't available to you, don't worry. We'll keep the mini up and posted. And when it becomes available to you, you can listen to it then.
Yes, absolutely. So just a little scheduling thing. We won't have an episode next week because it's Free Comic Book Day on Saturday, the day that we record. And Melissa, the artist who draws my Spirit comic book, and I are special guests at our local comic book shop to do signings and all sorts.
They'll be giving away free comic books to kids, and that's a great thing
comic
to do.
Books to kids and coloring books and all sorts. It's a fun day.
This week has not been fun, though.
No.
Just on a little side note, because you guys know, I mean, we're mystery maniacs, but our lives are kind of maniacal. Yeah, kind of crazy sometimes.
Some of you may not even know that we have 4 children the same age.
Yesterday. Yes, I don't even know what day it is anymore.
It was yesterday.
On Friday, we had a $35,000 lunch break.
Yes.
Our air conditioner started for the season, and it wasn't working so well.
So we pay for this service to have checkups done every year.
Because we have 2 water heaters, 2 furnaces, and 2 air conditioners.
Yep, we are
for our big freaky house.
A 2-zone big freaky house.
It wasn't working so efficiently. We didn't think the air was cool, and we thought it's time for the checkup.
It's time for the checkup.
It wasn't checkup. It was a terminal diagnosis.
Yes, and
dude came and said
they were very nice. They were very nice.
Dad said, not only is this air conditioner dead, but so is the other one.
Yes.
And so are the furnaces that are attached to them.
So,
and
Friday afternoon.
Here's a photo of the sizzling, smoking wires that are inside of them. And oh, by the way, they were installed shortly after Sarah graduated from high school. They are that old.
Before the birth of our children, before we had even met, these furnaces were installed in our house.
And it will cost you a mere $35,000 to replace both of them.
I had purchased 2 air conditioning units and 2 furnaces.
I'm still sort of freaking out about it.
It needed to happen.
And I have to move all the Halloween stuff so they can get into place it in the garage.
So it's in the one furnace is in the garage and one is in the basement. Both of these are filled with Halloween decorations.
Yeah, it's like, well, how can I shift the corpses from one place to the other if they're going to be in both places? I've been looking forward to recording this morning because it's a little bit of time when I thought I wouldn't be thinking of the $35,000 lunch break.
And hey, you can now join our $35,000 HVAC Patreon. No, not seriously. No, we're not.
We're going to pay for it a nickel at a time out on the street with a can shaking it. Can you shake your booty for a nickel at a time?
Just saying that maybe if you could like and subscribe this video on YouTube.
We can at least get that fat YouTube dollar cash.
Oh, yeah.
We get like $4 a month or something from YouTube.
Oh, no. We do better on YouTube than that.
Oh, not enough to pay for the $35,000 furnace.
No.
Y'all can tell I'm a little stuck on it. Anyhow, so how about shooting them ducks?
We just want to reiterate, this was a known expense. It maybe wasn't known as much as it was. And we were already planning.
Wait a minute. It wasn't known. It was like, yeah, they're old. We'll have to replace them soon.
Well,
not on Tuesday all at the same time.
No. We expected to have to replace all this equipment in about 18 months when we do some major renovations. when we had secured a home equity loan.
I laugh so I don't cry. It's okay. How about them ducks? Is this Nom or a duck hunt?
I don't know.
Because it looks like Nom. They got the face paint. Like ducks are going to see their skin and go, oh, that's a person.
Yes.
You got to paint your skin up in camo, like realistic camo?
I guess.
To hide in your your duck hide? You're already in a hide in the dark, in the fog, and you got to put the face paint on?
Man, I'm not a hunter. I don't fish. I don't hunt. It's never been a thing.
The closest thing you do to hunting is going to the grocery store and choosing the right chicken.
And my father never let hunters be on our property. It was just not something I was raised in and not part of my culture. I understand.
I
hunting.
went fishing as a kid, but we didn't paint up camo to go fishing.
But this is serious. And I looked into duck season in New Zealand.
It's 6 weeks.
And
it's short.
It's right now.
Oh.
Like it's getting ready right now. And
so it's a fall thing.
You know, there are times when you think that a certain country and a certain lunatic are the entire world, but this is not the case because they had a rather lovely explanation of securing the mai that you wanted. It really was understanding and reflective of.
You mean on like the New Zealand hunting website or something?
Maori values.
So the
and
whole
culture.
world's not full of assholes right now?
No.
It's hard not to think that.
It is indeed.
There are kind people. So you don't own your mai and say, this is mine? And I mean, it's a mai.
It's not a mine.
It's not a your mai. It's my.
Okay, that was maybe not the most culturally.
I just assumed that if you built it on land that you had access to, that you wouldn't have to claim it. It's yours. But maybe not.
They just had a page about making sure that you staked out your claim early on.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
And that you were considerate of other people and stuff.
They have all
because other people have guns and you shouldn't make them mad.
Well, they have crazy rules. Like they didn't mention them in here, but like you're only allowed 3 shots at a time because they want to lower the number of wounded birds. They want to increase the number of kills.
Right. That makes sense. So you can't take out your AK.
Yeah.
To go duck hunting.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Only allowed 3 shots.
So that's nice. It's sad that that's nice.
Birds' lives matter. What do you think of that?
Leslie's a moron. I'm glad she at least plays some music to announce herself.
That was the right thing to do.
But like she should have been out there when they got there, splashing around, scaring the ducks away from the get-go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so the ducks were never anywhere nearby. That's what I would have done.
So I had a friend who used to ask me all the time to go fishing with him, and I was never interested in fishing with him. I grew up on a lake in the summers, right? And so what I would do is go out with him in the boat, and I'd sit and read. And when I got bored reading, because we talk and stuff, you know, it was fellowship.
Let me guess, you go swimming.
I go swimming.
And scare the fish off.
I'd swim under the boat and scare all the fish off. You're not catching anything?
You swim under the boat?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. That, just the idea of that scares the bejesus out of me. What if you got caught? What if you... no.
This is when I was in the water.
I don't like water boats. I can't see the bottom of.
This is when I was in water around boats all the time. Like when I was water skiing every day. And
I used to go fishing a lot because my dad is like a fishing addict. Like he had to get his hit every day. He'd go fishing for like an hour after work. And when my sister and I were little, we would go and he would have his little aluminum boat. Not a big boat, like a boat you put on the top of in the back of the truck or whatever.
That's all this boat was.
And I know. Still, don't swim under it. It's still got an outboard. We would go out on the boat. He couldn't leave us on the edge of the pond, right? So we would be in the boat, and I'd be like 5, and my sister would be like 9, and inevitably one of us would have to pee.
Yep.
Well, Dad could just go off the side of the boat.
Yes.
But he'd have to take us back.
Yep.
To the bank, get off. Go pee, get back on, go out to the middle of the lake. And then the other one would go, no, I have to go now. And we go back. Pretty soon he was like, hold it.
Yep.
Just hold it.
Just hold it.
When both of you have to go, then we'll go. It was pretty miserable. But he made really good peanut butter and honey sandwiches. So we didn't mind going. Anyway.
So Leslie Garotte
is a moron and gets shot in her little boat.
Yes.
Because she puts herself between her killer sister. And some ducks.
So her sister, who is the killer, we're letting you in on this.
Jenny, you know she's the killer right away because she starts to smother the widower, Ollie.
Yes.
As soon as her sister's not even cold, and she's like, "What can I do for you, Ollie? Can I help you, Ollie? Stay away from Ollie. You don't need to question Ollie right now." And you're like, "Yeah, you're the killer, aren't you?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess she told her sister that she was going to do this.
Yes. Leslie told Jenny she was going to go out and do it.
And then she devised this plan. But okay, the whole idea of this is that Jenny is so in love with Ollie that she's willing to kill her sister.
Yeah.
That's a strange thing.
I would have thought that would have surfaced in other ways before this.
And you know me, I'm always banging on inciting incident.
Yeah.
What is the inciting incident of this? It's not this. She just didn't think, because this is premeditated. She has a whole plan.
Oh, yeah.
She's
decided she's going to pretend to be a ghost.
So,
like, she's got a costume.
So
she had to find that bowler hat somewhere. This is very
I would have
premeditated.
gotten away with it if it wasn't for you.
Yeah.
You kids and your
Bowler hats.
Yep. Like,
She could have just as easily been 3 or 4 kids stacked on top of
Yes.
each other in a big coat, but
or Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
But why now? There's no reason about why now.
it's not Ollie's affair
No, because she finds out about that later.
with Mother Ducker
Yes.
because she doesn't know about that yet.
Yeah. So what is the inciting incident here?
I don't know. Maybe we'll figure it out as we go through here.
Okay.
So they're all members of the Duck Stalkers Association.
There's a lot of wordplay in this episode.
Duck Stalker, I feel like you can stalk a deer, you can stalk a bear, something big, a buffalo,
Yep.
but a duck,
It's hard to stalk a duck.
like you gotta find out where it lives and
Yeah.
like take photos of it through the window. And
And this
you don't creep up on them.
Yeah.
You sit and wait for them to come to you.
Yeah. And this is so there's sort of a bunch of little groups here, right? There's Don Ducker, who is the head duck stalker,
Don Ducker the third.
the third. Then there is the guy who runs the gun shop
Tony.
and his children.
Then there's Jared and his uncle Walter, who's the one that has Parkinson's. We've met him
Yes.
before. And his uncle Tomity.
And it's implied that maybe his Parkinson's, he's shaken.
Yeah.
Might have been something here.
And Jared doesn't even have a gun. He's just there to support his uncle.
And then there's the poorest individual of the entire episode.
Who should not be there.
No.
Frodo should not be there.
No, Frodo has finally overcome
No, he hasn't.
his trauma enough that he's gone to the.
Duck hunt in honor of his friend Hayden, who was killed at his own bachelor party.
So let's just recap. The first thing with guns and Frodo is he shot himself in the foot,
Yes.
and his friends didn't want to hang out with him then.
Right.
That's traumatic enough. Then at his friend's bachelor party, when he's finally allowed to get guns back, his friend gets shot.
Yes.
And Frodo legitimately worries that for part of the episode
That he will be in,
that he had
in
done
trouble
it
for it. Yeah.
or that he is somehow in danger.
Yeah.
Throws his guns into the river.
Right.
I'm done with guns.
But now time has passed.
Time has passed.
And he's going to, instead of pouring out a 40 for his friend, he's going to shoot some ducks for his friend using his friend's old bullets.
And it's weird that his friend has his girlfriend's picture in a bikini and the thing, but
The duck hide.
men are weird. Okay.
Don't forget the asshat on the jet ski.
Yes.
Lance Guilford, who is just useless in the entire episode.
Yes.
He's not even a red herring because you never really suspect him.
No, and he doesn't have any cool posters in this episode.
All he does is rip off, tourists.
Yes.
That's all he does.
But Frodo is then immediately dealt with the trauma of seeing another person die by gunfire, which he could have possibly been involved in.
Yeah. You would think, no matter how high you shot, it would still be like, well, what if my shot fell, and it hit her?
And
what if I
Frodo-
pulled earlier than the trigger
Frodo
earlier
has
than
a
I
big
thought?
heart.
Yeah.
Frodo's got a big heart.
You'd feel bad.
And his reaction is played for comedy, but it's actually kind of real and dramatic.
What's funny is the way Frodo deals with that sadness or that upset by getting totally rat-faced.
Yes.
And stumbling around town and going to the aspirational establishment of the Toad and Lion, where people like to be happy, you know.
Yes.
Where they aspire
Trudy
to be more than they are. Ray.
Trudy and Ray are fantastic in this episode and fantastic in the new episode.
Yeah. Are you surprised that they let Ollie see Leslie's body when they haven't even cleaned her face off yet?
I have a note that says, she's got big red blood on her. Maybe you shouldn't be showing her to her sister.
Like, wipe her face off.
Yeah.
When Gina's like, well, he can spend another minute with her, but he's got to hurry because I need to get on. And Jenny's like, and Sims is like, she's Russian. Like, that's all you need to say is she's Russian.
Yep.
And that explains everything about how rude she is.
What important UK figure is in one of the duck blinds? There's a picture of them.
I don't know.
Baden Powell.
There's a picture of Baden Powell in there?
Yep.
Do you want to tell people who he is?
He is the man who started scouting.
Are you surprised that the Duck Stalkers Association, the DSA,
yes,
has their very own clubhouse? They don't just rent a room. They've got a clubhouse.
It's more than the detectorists just use the town hall.
Yeah. No, this is their place. There's a big sign on the wall and they've got their trophies up and dead ducks everywhere. And it's like a permanent place for something you do 6 weeks out of the year.
Yeah. It seems.
What do they do with it for the other 48?
It seems weirdly
46, sorry.
Like inheritance based. Like if my grandfather was in this club, then I'm in this club.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of clubs that work like that.
They're usually Ivy League school related clubs. Mrs. Marlowe.
Speaking of things that are uncomfortable, would you want to drive around with that many eggs sitting in your front seat?
I think if you're around eggs, you know how tough they actually are.
Well, plus that's $357,000 you could have paid for the HVAC issues with all those eggs.
Give me those eggs. You notice when they go to Ollie's house and they're at the dining room table that there's 2 big baskets of eggs on the table too.
Giant baskets of eggs.
One basket is a basket of giant eggs,
yes,
and the other basket is of tiny eggs. Like he's the egg magnate. He's the
Eggman.
Yeah. He's got pigs. He's got ducks. He must have some ostriches around there somewhere. I don't know. Maybe that's why those big birds are extinct now, because he's stealing all their big eggs. Mrs. Marlowe is awesome in this episode.
Yes.
Because she's, again, I know everything, but I'm not involved. But
yes,
run into me and I'll tell you important things, like how to make coffee. Wibble.
And again, like, this is really a very good callback to the brand new episode, because in the new episode, they're still finding interesting ways to make fun of Sims and her coffee. That's not coffee.
She does not learn the Wibble lesson.
No, she does not.
Because if she did, that would be the end of it, right?
Yes.
Did you know that Mrs. Marlowe's husband was named Rufus?
No, I did not.
I'd never caught that before if she said it.
I did not know that.
It would be hard for me to be in love with a man named Rufus.
And then she sings a duck
She
song.
talks about how her husband was part of the DSA.
Yes.
And she's not a hunter.
No.
But he was very successful at hunting, and she had to pluck all of the ducks.
Yes. 8 ducks.
You don't just have to pluck them, though. You have to, like, pull the shot out of them, right? Otherwise, you might find it while you're eating it.
Yeah.
That sounds tedious.
It kind of is. Have you ever plucked a bird?
No. I've never skinned or plucked anything. Well, catfish.
In the long line of really disgusting things I had to deal with as a child, I never had to do this, but I had to sit outside while my mother did it. I don't know why she wanted me to sit outside.
Company.
Or
she was worried about what you were going to do inside while she was outside.
She had like a dozen chickens that were brought to us alive. She killed them and plucked them.
I didn't know Madonna was that hardcore.
Oh,
She killed them?
Hardcore. Yeah.
Did she cut their heads off or snap their necks?
Snap their necks and then cut their heads off.
Wow.
Yeah, like
That's hardcore.
Far too many of my memories as a childhood of the farm involve animal blood.
Ugh. Well, Mrs. Marlowe has funny rhymes.
Yes.
To keep her company while she's plucking ducks.
Yes. And these are called tongue twisters.
Are they?
Yes.
Thank you for telling us
Well,
that.
some people might not call them tongue twisters.
Based on how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood.
Which
right?
is, of course, there to make you not say certain words.
Not to slip up and say F.
Yeah.
But she does, how many ducks does a duck plucker pluck when a duck plucker does pluck ducks?
And that's a hard one, man. I don't know if I could do that one without.
Then she does, how many clucks can a pluck duck cluck when a pluck duck does cluck cluck?
Yes.
You don't think you can do it?
Well, they're hard.
I've got some for you.
Oh, you have other ones? Now, did you find these or did
I
you
have written some.
You have written some. These
There's not even AI involved here.
Oh, excellent.
Are you ready?
Yes.
We'll see if you can do it.
Okay.
How many pluckers would the ducks choose to smother if the ducks could smother the pluckers?
Okay, how many
pluckers would the ducks choose to smother if the ducks could smother the pluckers?
How many pluckers would the ducks choose to smother if the ducks could smother the duck pluckers?
Very good.
Okay, wow. There were no beeps in that.
You didn't say it very fast, though.
No.
You want to try another one?
Yeah.
How many ducks would pluck plums with a plumber if a duck could pluck plums with a plumber? How many ducks would a pluck?
Are you going to throw sheets in the air?
How many
slit sheets?
How many ducks would pluck plums with a plumber if a duck could pluck plums with a plumber?
How many ducks would pluck plums with a plumber if ducks could pluck plums with a plumber?
A bummer?
A plumber.
A bummer. Very good.
Excellent.
I'll save the other ones. I won't torture you for right now.
Okay.
Ollie is always surrounded by eggs.
Always.
And it makes me think he is as fragile as the eggs.
Yes.
Because he sort of is.
But, okay. Yes, he is. But also, I feel sympathy for Mrs. Duck of the Duckers.
Marion Ducker?
I feel sympathy for her. Her husband is horrific.
Get in the kitchen, woman.
And at one point in time, he's in the police station and is standing in front of a domestic violence poster. And I don't think it's an accident.
I don't think he's physically abusive. I just think he has a category that he puts her in, and she seems to be willing to conform to that rather than upset him.
I would say at the very least, he's emotionally abusive.
Well,
and certainly
he's not giving her all the options in her life that she could have.
Certainly verbally abusive.
Yeah.
Okay. That being said, there are lots of men in Brokenwood, including Mike, who would be a better opportunity for her.
She doesn't have to stay with Ducker.
No. But the Eggman Cuckoo Cuckoo is maybe a poor choice because his sister-in-law is psychotic and his wife kinda is too.
But he's the Eggman. He's like the milkman. He comes to the door.
He's the milkman.
With his 6... Who gets 6 eggs?
Who gets 6 eggs?
Not if you're a baker, you don't.
But I tell you what, Sims has that figured out in like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
She's like on the... This episode...
It's not hard.
This episode is Sims coming out.
Yeah,
absolutely. She is fantastic in this episode.
They get the shells, not the shells, the pellets from Leslie's.
Not the eggshells.
No.
The gun.
If she was killed with eggs shot from a gun, it'd be a lot easier to solve the crime.
Oh, she's got yolk all over her.
Trauma. The ducks would be so upset.
Frodo, no, not the yolks again.
Just imagine how traumatic that would be for the ducks. Like, you used to just kill us, but now you're shooting our babies at each other in front of us?
Throwing our babies at us.
Wow, that's just cold, people.
Yeah.
So they got the pellets, and they're like, haha, it'll be easy.
Yes.
We'll know who shot her.
Yes.
And then you find out Ducker gave everybody a box of shells. Man,
Totally unrelated to the crime.
innocuously.
Yeah.
You know? But like, well, there goes that.
Except for Frodo, who's shooting the old ammunition, and the kids who have the smaller ammunition. Ammunition.
Well, Jenny claims to not be shooting that ammo either because she's shooting a different gun.
Yes.
They do a good job explaining guns in this for us people who have no idea what the difference is between those guns.
The gun shop scene mixes humor, parenting, and exposition really well.
Well, and even Jenny is kind of helpful in explaining why she shoots with a 410 or whatever it is.
Yes.
I thought it was funny that Don Ducker's family made all their money manufacturing linoleum. Like, it's such a claim to fame.
Well, like that is a common trope of these detective shows. Okay. So the main audience of these detective shows, I would say, are women from the ages 35 to 65. Is their target market.
Right. And they're into linoleum. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying
They like guys named Don who make linoleum.
no, I'm saying that
If you can't shoot
insecure-
them, pluck them.
insecure, boisterous men are meant to look foolish.
Yes.
Which they should be.
Yes.
I have no problem with that.
Yes.
But the linoleum and his name and all that stuff is not meant to justify his treatment of his wife.
No.
It's meant to show that he is insecure in all aspects of
And
his
has
life.
been for generations.
And has been for generations.
We were Donald Duck before the Donald Duck. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can't shoot them, pluck them.
Meanwhile,
Tony's duck hat's awesome too, by the way.
Tony's duck hat is awesome. And the Maoris show up and talk about birds.
Well, Uncle Walter knows his stuff.
Yes, he does.
That blue duck,
Yeah.
the
Yeah. WHIO, a word that is hard to say.
it's like a whistle. That's a word.
It's a word that lacks a consonant at the end.
But I love how they list all the birds. They're like, no, that one's extinct. That's not around. And it's not that one. No, not that one.
And all those birds, like, I don't want to say anything, but all those birds are listed on the New Zealand bird hunting website.
Yeah.
Like that I went to.
Like you think the writers just like Googled bird hunting and got the list?
I think what happened, this is a Tim Baum written one. Tim Baum said, I know people who are into duck hunting. I should do a duck hunting episode. It's a big thing here.
Yep.
So if I'm going to do a duck hunting episode, I should have a woman protesting the duck hunting. Because I'm sure there were stories about this.
Oh, yes.
And wouldn't that be interesting to hide a murder where somebody was protesting duck hunting and they got killed and their murder is hidden in that? I'm 100% sure that is the genesis of this story, which is a valid genesis of the story. The problem is there's no inciting incident, and you have to assume that the sister is loony-toony.
I know what the inciting incident is.
Okay, what's the inciting incident?
It's return of the spirit of Wild Bill Baker pretending to be a ghost.
But she's the ghost.
She's possessed by his hat.
Oh, she's possessed by his hat.
No, I love
did not
how his
know.
uncle says, I don't believe in ghosts, but I believe in spirits. And maybe he came back as a ghost.
And then the sister, who is loony-toony, Jenny, drops the guilt on Mike. Do you have a sister? When was the last time you talked to her?
I don't know, sister killer. Who are you to talk?
Whatever. You were so in love with your sister, you managed to kill her to get to her husband.
She should have spent more time in the Toad and Lion, an aspirational establishment. She might have met a nice man. I love that the uncles have the theory about how Wild Bill Baker died from a bird dropping onto his face.
Yes.
Into his face and killing him. Nobody was there to see it, but it had to have happened that way because that's the most epic way we can imagine.
Yes.
And he was epic. So he definitely died in an epic way, even though nobody was there.
All know people who are like that.
Because he was a legend.
Yep. Those sort of local legend people are always interesting to me.
Mrs. M gets an almond and turmeric macchiato.
Yes.
And I was like, Surely that's something they made up. No, people do drink turmeric in their coffee.
Yep.
It's got to taste like a roast dinner. I don't know.
I guess.
I don't think I would like that. I heart stalking. Do you want that shirt? Those tourists sure do. They get a free t-shirt. Tourists never make out well in Brokenwood. Whether they're going on the
Chinese tourist.
Yeah.
We need a shirt in the shop. We need more merch, by the way.
Yeah.
Buy some
are
more.
you trying to pay for the furnace? We don't make any money off the merch.
We need a t-shirt in the shop that says, I was a fake Chinese tourist on Brokenwood.
And all I got was this stupid t-shirt.
All I got was this stupid t-shirt.
I was attacked by a giant spider in Brokenwood, and all I got was this stupid t-shirt.
Yes.
And not the shark fin soup I expected to have.
What does this episode need more of? Well, Mr. Buchanan.
Dennis Buchanan, of course.
He's here for the Hobbit. They're so mean to Frodo in his time of need.
He's struggling. He's so hungover. He's so really sad. He thinks he might have killed somebody, and they're teasing him.
I have a title in my note that says "Poor Drunk Frodo."
Really, he should be wearing one of the I Heart Stalking shirts.
Yes. The shooter sign, like the best shooters of the year sign, is made of wood and has names going back to the middle of the 20th century. There is a lot of work put in that sign that shows up in one scene for about 4 seconds.
But none of them are Ducker.
Nope. Let's have a reference to Gallipoli because we're Australian/New Zealand people.
Well, Jenny has the family gun on the wall.
Yes.
Do you think she's the older sister?
I think she is.
So she's the keeper of the family history.
Because first of all, as we all know, youngest siblings are smart enough not to kill off other siblings.
That's true.
We would never do that.
No, we wouldn't.
So
we're youngest siblings, and we know. We are wise.
We are very wise.
We learn from the screw-ups of our older siblings.
We are never spoiled. We know that we're never spoiled. And we had it the roughest. It's just the truth.
And that's what makes us the smartest.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So she's got the family gun, but she says it's decommissioned.
Yes.
But she never checked.
No.
Whatever. I'm not buying it. And she's clearly studied quite a bit of military history.
Yeah, she has.
Because she rigs up the super gadget with the rusty wire.
Yes. So this is where Dawn comes in and stands in front of the domestic violence poster. And we're meant to have an ironic moment there.
He might be a bit controlling and stereotypical, but he's also legitimately upset that his wife was shtipping the Eggman.
Cuckoo Cachoo.
Maybe he could have been a better
This
husband.
episode needed an intimacy coordinator.
Yeah. There was some intimacy going on.
I was just waiting for the moment where she put her hand back and broke an egg. It's a metaphor.
Like she's on the counter and she breaks an egg.
Yes. So this is where we get to the serious portion of the episode.
How many mothers pluck ducks with their brother if a mother could pluck ducks with their brother?
If the last one has mother duckers in, I'm out. Mother ducker.
Hughes shows up and Mrs. M and Breen are practicing. How many mothers would pluck ducks with their brother? And he's like, I don't want to interrupt you.
The comedy of Breen and
Mrs. Marlowe.
And the
Hughes walking in
is perfect here.
Well, Hughes walks in and in 30 seconds goes, wasn't Frodo. Bye.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Well, and Hughes does a great job. They do a really good job of filming this because you immediately know, even though Hughes is in his uniform, who he is and that he's in charge.
Yeah, he carries himself.
Yeah.
He's also incredibly tall.
He is indeed. I forgot because I watched an earlier episode because I had to prepare for the mini episode. Mm-hmm. He had a beard in one episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
I forgot Hughes had a beard. So.
Ready for this?
Yes.
How many strings would a string strummer pluck if a string strummer could pluck strings?
How many strings would a string strummer pluck if a string strummer could pluck strings?
You did that one very well.
Yes.
How much muck would a gooey duck chuck if a gooey duck could chuck muck?
How much muck would a mother gooey chuck?
How
If a mother gooey duck could chuck gooey duck.
How much muck would a gooey duck chuck if a gooey duck could chuck muck?
No. I'm out.
You can't do it?
I'm tapping out.
I love getting gooey duck into things.
Well, and you just think about what it looks like, too.
Like a phallus in a shell?
Yes.
They're nasty. They would chuck muck if they could, because they're gross.
They're gross.
People eat them. If you don't know what a gooey duck is, Google it.
It's not a duck.
It's
That's
spelled
for sure.
GEO duck. It's not GEODUCK.
No.
It's gooey duck.
It's gooey duck.
And they're gross.
Yes.
So Hugh shows up, frees Frodo, and then they're like, oh, well, if it wasn't Frodo, it was Jenny.
Yes.
Like, Mike just gets it. Everything clicks. So what does he do?
He puts himself in mortal danger.
Goes to her place so she can try to kill him.
Yes. Oh, we forgot. We need to go back.
Okay.
Because Don's wife gets shot.
Oh, that's right. Never mind. Mrs. Ducker, Mother Ducker gets shot. Because they do have kids. The kids have been sent to the city.
And
she is Mother Ducker.
So she shoots Mother Ducker right in the muck.
Yeah. Right in her driveway.
Right in her driveway.
Dressed like the ghost of Baker.
And immediately go, oh, that's Jenny.
Of course it is.
You absolutely know.
In broad daylight.
Broad day. She is loony-toony.
With Ducker's gun.
Yeah.
She doesn't die that we know of. It's serious, but she's not dead.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine how traumatic and terrifying it would be to be in close proximity to somebody who has a gun that big pointed at you, who is that crazy, who has already shot 2 people.
Yep.
And is threatening you.
Mike is extremely brave here.
I think I would puke everywhere.
Yep.
And it would kind of ruin the mood.
Sims is excellent. Mm-hmm. She listens to Hughes, and Hughes trusts her.
Yep.
And Hughes is
and Ollie screws everything up. Eggman is like, I love you. Like, come on, dude. Somebody's life is on the line. Be convincing.
The best part to me of the whole end scene is Sims is allowed to show leadership, and Hughes shows leadership in believing in her leadership. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And checks in. Are you good with this?
Yeah.
She goes, I'm good.
Yeah.
And that's all he needs.
Nope.
So that's fantastic.
Yeah. But the
Green swears.
But the guys with the guns do materialize out of nowhere.
Like actual says a birdie dirt. Which is rare for this show.
Yeah.
And rare for any show that we watch.
What does he say?
I think he says shit.
Oh.
And
dun dun dun.
But
Mike is being held at gunpoint.
Yeah. But
by an insane person.
Breen is frustrated.
Yeah.
But also, I like that Breen isn't like, I'm going to go in there and shoot it up. Like,
No.
he is like, we follow procedure here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does have to go find Ollie.
And Sims is in control. So
Yep.
what Sims says, I do.
Yeah.
I don't argue with her.
Well, she's superior to him, so he has to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then Ollie comes and the Eggman screws everything up.
He screws it all up.
Like, I know he's upset because she killed his wife and shot his girlfriend. I get it.
Yes.
But somebody else's life is on the line now.
Yes.
So fake it, dude.
Like,
Suck it up.
If you're going to be bait, be good bait.
Yeah, or don't do it at all.
Yeah.
Either say, I've always loved you, of course, you know? Like, how hard is that?
Yeah. Like, he totally doesn't know how to fake it.
Then Mike has to be off-screen super heroic.
Yes.
Because he clearly dives for her when she's about to shoot herself and the bullet goes into the ceiling and gets plaster all over her instead.
So what happens is Ollie is bad. So she decides that maybe I'm in a bit of spot of bother here.
Things are not going to go back to normal just because I wish it.
So she decides that maybe shooting herself might be a solution to this problem. And thankfully, Mike does Mike things and stops her.
Which
But it's great how it's portrayed.
I'm glad that he stopped her from killing herself, but
Yes.
it would not have been the worst thing. He would have felt bad.
He would have felt bad.
But she's going to go to prison forever.
She is going to prison forever.
Hopefully.
This incident has ruined this duck club.
The DSA is done.
I can only imagine.
Though, I don't know. Because here's what I think happens after the credits.
Okay.
I think
Well, Mike calls his sister. We know that happened.
that happens before the credits.
Yeah.
I think Don Ducker and Mother Ducker get split up,
Well, yeah.
right? I think they go their separate ways amicably, but they go their separate ways. And then I think
I would think that he would be insecure and be like, well, I don't want you now. And she'd be like, okay,
oh, darn.
I'm moving to town.
But then I think Don Ducker really needs the club.
Oh, I think he does.
So maybe the club sticks around, but it's kind of sad. Because
Yeah.
it's Don desperate for friends.
I would,
6 weeks a year.
I would like to think that the next year, Frodo gets the prize for the best duck guy. But I also don't want Frodo going anywhere near weapons anymore.
The next year, Frodo should compete in the duck butter sculpture competition.
Or something.
Not shooting
guns
things
involved.
No, like best duck flavored coffee.
The sister is going up the river. Way up the river.
Oh yeah. Jenny's going to prison.
Ollie's life is completely ruined. Because I don't think Mrs. Ducker,
Mother Ducker.
he's
When she gets out of the hospital.
a Ducker muff. I'm trying to say this.
He's a Mother Ducker effer. Beep.
But I don't think she's going to want a lot to do with him after this.
He owes her something.
Well, okay.
His sister-in-law shot her because they had a fun egg afternoon. That put her in the targets of the crazy lady.
I realize all that, but I think she's probably going to be like, I don't want anything to do with you.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame her. I don't think they're going to be a couple for sure. They had one afternoon delight over the eggs. It's not like they had a relationship.
Do Ollie and his dead wife have children?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. So he just has his ducks
And his pigs. And his giant birds that we don't see that lay those big eggs.
So he can go on being the Eggman.
Yeah.
Not that like anyone in this town wants to eat duck eggs at this point.
He's living off the land. Maybe there's a third sister that we just don't know about.
Who is even more crazy.
Who's perfectly normal and comes to help. I'm adopted. It's okay. I'm normal.
I guess. Now, the question I have about after the episode is this. Mm-hmm. We know that Don Ducker and Mother Ducker have children. Mm-hmm. They've gone to the city. Mm-hmm. Do they have a boy child? And is his name Donald?
Yes.
So there is a Donald Ducker the fourth.
If there's not a Donna Ducker the third.
These are our children, Donna and Donna.
Yeah. Don and Donna out on the deck.
They're listening to Eem. This is the worst New Zealand impressions that we
Don and Donna Ducker on the deck. Plucking the ducks.
being dickheads.
I see him as the kind of person who would be like, if the first child is a girl, we must have another one.
Yo, totally.
That's why I think they probably have a son, and I can't imagine him having a son and not calling him Don Ducker.
I do wish there was a moment of uppance to him.
Yeah.
Because you almost could feel sympathetic for him at the end because his wife did get shot, even though she got shot because she was sleeping with the crazy lady's
Brother-in-law.
pretend brother-in-law boyfriend.
Yeah. Eggman.
Eggman. Cuckoo, cuckoo.
Ollie the Eggman. Yeah, it would have been nice if You know, if she'd been winged or something and she come out of the hospital before the end of the episode and was like, I don't want anything to do with you.
Yes, I would have liked that.
A brush with death has made me realize life is too short. I'm leaving.
I also like that Sims did a great job. Everyone says you did a great job. And then everyone moves on. Mm-hmm. They don't make a big thing about it. They don't.
Well, she still can't make coffee. She's not perfect.
They aren't like, we're so surprised you did a great job,
Right.
woman.
No, we expected you to, and you did. Good.
Yeah,
Next.
you're a good cop.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. You should go join the DSA. No. That is Dead Man Don't Shoot Ducks, baby.
So in 2 weeks we have, yeah, it's a weird.
I laugh at my own jokes.
It's a weird named episode.
How much men would a dead duck shoot if a dead duck could shoot?
I think Tim Baum had that idea and painted himself into a corner and was like, well, she's loony.
I don't know what other motive she could have.
Yeah.
I've always hated my sister. She looked at me funny just one more time and I couldn't take it.
And okay.
I found this bowler hat and I got inspired. I don't know.
Ollie is already susceptible and open to other activities, or else he wouldn't have been going in and talking to her. Mm-hmm. Like, so
yeah, because
why does she not just seduce her brother?
Her brother doesn't want anything to do with her. She's Jenny.
Then she would know that he didn't want to do anything.
Yeah, well, that's not how real stalkers work. They interpret everything the way they want. Like,
but
he smiled at me that day. That means that he actually loves me.
But so show us that.
Yeah.
I wish they had shown that
a little bit more of her misinterpreting him.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe. You just want an inciting evidence.
I do. I'm a stickler for that.
I'm telling you, I think she found that hat somewhere in a junk sale and got inspired. I could pretend to be the ghost of Baker and finally kill my sister. Ha ha!
And Mother Ducker.
Yes.
Okay. So that's the part that I like, that she's nuts. And then she finds out that Ollie and Mother Ducker are ducking, and she goes and shoots her right away.
They're crushing eggs together.
Like, I like that because that's what an insane person would do.
Yep.
So, okay. So this episode drops on the 28th of April. Mm-hmm. We are taking a week off because I am doing Free Comic Book Day.
But not completely off, because we will be releasing another mini.
Yes. So we have probably 3 episodes in May, 3 full episodes, and 6 minis to go.
Yeah.
You could get 9 episodes in May.
Yeah. We got a lot.
Yeah.
We're going to be busy. It's going to be good.
So we return to full episodes on the 12th of May. I cannot believe it is the 12th of May already.
By then, I will be 50.
Sarah's birthday is right around there. We have big plans.
$35,000.
Sarah's
50 years old.
Big birthday. And we will be covering The Fantastic Dead and Buried, which is the episode where all the female killers come back. Because remember, Trudy's in jail at this point in time.
Yeah.
And then we'll start season 7 with 2 of my favorite named episodes. One, season 7, episode 1, the Garotte and Vinkelbraun, which is the episode in which they evaluate the antiques.
Yeah.
Like
Antiques Roadshow.
And then the Witches of Brokenwood is the next episode.
That's a good one
after
too.
That. Yes. So we expect lots of Maniac material in the month of May. It's Maniac May.
I like it. Maniacal May.
Somehow we have to generate that YouTube money to pay for HVAC, baby.
Until then, bye, Maniacs.
Bye, Maniacs. Thanks for joining us on the Mystery Maniacs podcast. If you enjoyed our crazy podcast today, don't miss out on future episodes. Follow us on social media for updates, behind the scenes content, and exclusive sneak peeks. Subscribe, like, and share to spread the word. Bye, Maniacs. Why do I suddenly need to cough when I'm on microphone?
5,
4,
3,
2,